There's a certain satisfaction in revisiting the past, flickering images of the good old days, glimpses of a forgotten childhood. How much more fulfilling, though, not just to revisit, but to relive. Lying at the tip of a great continent, Cape Town has for centuries been the springboard for journeys inland. Our journey is to be a 6-day tour aboard a vintage steam train. The Golden Thread begins here in the departure lounge at Cape Town's main station. At platform 24, the Union Limited is ready to depart. She is the Transnet Heritage Foundation's steam preservation flagship, and she's about to take us on a journey into the past. We are set to relive the golden age of colonial rail travel.
Is this out, Kevin? Yes. Cool. Up.
The Golden Thread will take us through some of South Africa's most beautiful scenery. The wheatlands to the north of Cape Town, and the green hills further east, the Montagu Pass to Oudtshoorn, and the garden route to Knysna, where we will turn and head directly back to Cape Town. Our first leg will take us up through the Swartland to Porterville. The freedom of the open road. In this hot, dry part of Africa, civilization has loosened its grip. On these plains, where big game once roamed, we are free to indulge the pioneering spirit, the spirit of the railway.
We're trying to sell an authentic SAR, the old South African Railways experience, with the meals, the coaching stock, but obviously we've cheated a little bit here and there. And most people appreciate that.
Well, this is my first railway experience. I've traveled a lot in cars most than in trains, and I think it's very, very unique to go in a train, especially such a vintage train, to go back in time and experience how people used to travel.
I was interested in going on the blue train, which didn't actually fit in with our arrangements as far as the flights and it was a heck of a lot more expensive. But and this seemed a novel way of seeing the garden route and something very different.
This region is known as the Swartland, the Black Country, so named by the early settlers after the dark colour of the indigenous vegetation. It's a winter rainfall area, ideal for the growing of wheat and for the making of wine.
I think on first day it was quite nice that we went to a wine farm and had a few drinks, because that always opens up the people. And so from day one, everybody was sort of opening up to each other and became friends.
Boerewors. That's one. None. You must try. No, but only a small piece.
By breakfast the next morning, the Union Limited is a good 300 kilometres away from Porterville. travelling roughly parallel to the coast and eastwards towards Hartenbos and Mossel Bay. Diesel locomotives have worked the overnight shift, saving the Union Limited the servicing time required for steam engines. This is the lush and lovely Southern Cape, a timeless place of moody weather and rolling hills. The railway dates from Edwardian times, while our train is very much as it would have been in the 30s and 40s, when rail travel was at its height. The wooden compartments are just the same, though somewhat less crowded.
In the old days, if they'd travelled in a compartment, first class, there would have been 4 up, and we only put 2 in the compartment. We do have suites now with their own bathrooms in the accommodation, which we didn't have before.
The air-conditioned suite coaches are newer, but not contemporary. They are vintage 50s. A period train behind diesel in lovely countryside is worth travelling on, but most of the passengers have come for that one special extra something.
I come here just because of the steam train, because we saw it on some brochures we got from the tourist board in London, your tourist board. And we saw the advertisement for this one, and then we found out this is what we are going to do. That's why you are here.
It was a surprise to find that I could come on a steam train in South Africa. I should have known I could, but it wasn't part of the plan. We planned to come to Africa before we heard about the train. Having heard about the train, of course I wanted to see the big locomotives, and the fact that the train exists is remarkable in itself.
It's logistically very difficult. You have to be on top of it all the time. It's higher maintenance, it's more labour intensive. But I think if you look after them properly and keep them well serviced and so on, you can keep them going for a long time. We actually apply the old equipment, the coaches and the locos, in the tourist industry basically, to sponsor their own preservation. If you didn't have an income, you'd never be able to restore it. It's a passion, really. It's a marvellous thing that you've been able to take this old product which nobody else wants and turn it into something and then actually make the people enjoy the experience of travelling on it.
At Hartenbos, we'll leave the train for a short bus ride into Mossel Bay.